You know, there's a saying in the military, ours is not to reason why, ours is but to do or die. You're given an order and you follow it, sometimes even reluctantly. But when the terrorists attack America and our way of life, there were actually men and women lining up to be told where to go and what to do.
There was a commotion downstairs, and some of the men down there were saying, you know, the World Trade Center's been hit.
Just about anyone who's old enough to remember the date, September 11th, 2001, remembers where they were and what they were doing when the attacks began.
The hair on the back of my neck kind of stood up, so I was thinking in my head, oh, wow, you know, we're under attack.
At the time, Nathan Boychuck was an electrician living his version of the American dream. He didn't have to join the military, but the attacks compelled him to do just that.
My pride, my patriotism took over, and that's when I went into the Marine Corps recruiting office and signed up.
Since enlisting, Boychuck has been to Iraq twice, and he's now a sergeant serving as a recruiter in Metro Detroit. He's helping the next round of men and women answer the call of duty. Of course, there are those who would answer the call literally.
I'm thinking it was later on that day at work. My platoon sergeant had called me, and he told me to prepare to get ready, that we're going to be meeting at the Armory, at Lake Guard Armory on 8 Mile.
Dave Hoger was honorably discharged from the Army a decade prior to the attacks. On September 11, 2001, he was a member of the National Guard, a branch of the military that had not historically engaged in conflicts overseas.
We're supposed to stay home for tornadoes, floods, anything to help out within the state of where you live.
But 9/11 changed all that, and Hoger says he didn't have a problem with it.
It came from there, and they came at the, you know, in Washington, and all these different things took place, and my heart was, I want to be there.
On September 11th, he was actually working in the flooring industry. But as he watched those planes hit the World Trade Center, he knew he had much more important work to do.
I definitely wanted to be part of it, regardless of the outcome.
And he would get his opportunity, but in the course of defending the nation, he suffered a debilitating brain injury when an IED went off near his vehicle.
I moved the steering wheel to the front windshield with my body, and I cracked with my head. I shattered a bulletproof glass windshield.
Hoger's lucky to be alive, and he knows that. But there's still a part of him that wants to be back in the fight. And he couldn't be happier that the mastermind behind those vicious attacks will never see the light of day again.
He can't come at us from the bottom of the ocean where they threw him overboard.
And of course, this Sunday will mark the 10-year anniversary since those vicious attacks occurred. And since they did, other than the victims and their families, no other group has been more affected by the events that took place 10 years ago than the American military, who continue to fight the war on terror. Maddox, Channel 7 Action News.